it's probably the most easiest thing you could do is to find out if your home has had permits pulled on electrical.
Yes.
To find out if you need anything done to the electrical. If the home is not new, it means the electrical is not new. This is pretty simple. If the house is over, let's say 7 years old, and nothing's been touched, obviously there needs to be some upgrades. So when it comes to this, we're talking about over the years, like I said, 30 years ago, I learned I better start getting permits. Permit changes are maybe not every year, but there's a lot of changes when it comes to electrical.
Many.
And for you, because you're a master electrician, you have to take these courses. What do people need to know about the changes to code?
The beauty is they don't. It's up to the electrical contractor in order to notify the customer what they're about to do. Just hopefully they're explaining what they're about to do in your home. Making sure that they comply to today's electrical code, that's up to the electrical contractor in order to make sure that they've complied. ESA, the Electrical Safety Authority, then comes in during the inspection to make sure that everything complies. So as a homeowner, you don't need to know the changes. The electrical contractor needs to stay up on many code changes that happen every year.
Well, that makes sense to me, but I mean, I've seen code changes along the way when it comes to electrical, and one of them was that smoke alarm with the strobe light, where the location is, one's got to be in every bedroom of the house, on the second floor, in the basement, every level of the home, and every bedroom of the home.
It's very, very rare that someone gets to correct Mike Holmes, but this is a perfect opportunity, and it is taped. So Mike, that's a building code, not electrical. As per electrical code, we need to answer to building code, meaning that if there's a building code that affects us, we need to do everything in our power to make sure that we satisfy that building code. So the reason the electrician puts in the smoke alarm is because it's a building code requirement.
But if you're
Same with vapor barrier around our box.
But if you're changing
not electrical.
If you're changing the electrical in the home, you have to comply
Well,
to the codes.
no. In solutions, like for our company, we word it very, very carefully. Here's what it costs. This is what we're planning on doing. It's a building code. Ontario Building Code states that this needs to be done. Doesn't need to comply by electrical code. The Electrical Safety Authority doesn't come in looking for smoke detectors. It's especially on a renovation.
You're telling me if a home is renovated,
Yes.
an old home,
Yep.
it's being renovated,
Yep.
and you are rewiring the whole home.
Yeah, I'll make your head spin in a sec. You finish that line.
Are you required to put in the new strobe smoke alarms?
Before I answer that, I'll answer it with another question. Your childhood home, remember your bedroom for argument's sake. You probably had 1 or 2 receptacles in your bedroom.
Correct.
Meanwhile, today's code would ask for 3 or 4. By electrical
Every 12
code,
feet?
Yeah, well, 6 feet from the door and every 12 feet from there on in. According to electrical code, I just need to make it safer than what it is for that home that was built in the 1900s.
Even if you're rewiring
I don't
the
need to
house?
add the extra receptacles as we just discussed. A good electrical contractor will automatically add them in. But for that cheap homeowner that wants to rewire the home because they're selling it, they only need to rewire what's existing.
Holy cow.
Yeah. So electrical
Okay,
code,
you taught me
a
something.
lot like, you're welcome. So electrical code is a lot like building code. We give you a bare minimum. Now it's up to you to surpass it. You surpass the building code every day that you're on a job. In electrical, we do the same.
Maybe that's why I think it's code period, because that's what I do every day.
Maybe that's why you and I have gotten along for 20 years plus.